I learned a lot. And I learned that it makes a difference. This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards, and there weren't a lot of, there was a 3-meter board. And if you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there. And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, to show how things had changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off." Well, he came off, and he said, "I'll meet you outside." My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, "I'll be waiting for you." He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors. Not a joke. There was a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools. He was the mechanic. And I said, "What am I going to do?" He said, "Come down here in the basement where all the pool filter is. You know the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up, he said, "You walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, 'You may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.'" I said, "You kidding me?" He said, "No, if you don't come back." And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And they had, those days, you used to remember the straight razor. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty. And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, I said, when I tell you to get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you Esther Williams. I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, "You apologize to me?" I said, "I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said." He said, "Okay," closed the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again. I came down here because I remember the first bumper sticker I saw.
C&D presents the No BS Show. With your hosts, Chris Mize and Doug Dock. It's the No BS Show. Take it away, guys.
Corn Pop.
Two minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Yes.
I'm talking about Corn Pop and violence.
Cool.
You know, straight razors. Got to change. What the hell did he say?
That's the purpose of it.
Oh,
who knows?
Goodness.
Who knows?
All right, everybody. How you doing tonight? I want to thank all our veterans like we normally do. Thought you guys couldn't, we wouldn't be able to do the things we love in this country. I want to thank the military serving overseas in the homeland, protecting them freedoms. I want to thank first responders, EMS, police, fire, nurses and doctors, tow truck drivers. You guys going through a pretty shitty time again, Doug. Actually, it's a little bit more shitty than it was in the beginning.
Yeah. It's really crappy down here.
Well, the weather's getting shitty too.
Mm-hmm.
So, hi, Sharon.
Hi.
Just to go off track for a minute, Doug. I always do this. I don't think of anything until while we're talking before the show on here. But we've been bitching a lot. Well, for about 14 months now, fifth on this show, we bitch a lot, this, that, and the other. But this administration sucks. We all know it. The country's not in a good shape right now. I don't care what they say. You know, they say the shelves are bare because the economy is so great, but it's not. You know, yeah, I'm not wearing a Build Back Better hat, but fact of the matter is, I still believe in my heart that we still live in the greatest country in the world. We just got to get it back, Doug. You know, we can't lose track and faith of this is the greatest country that there is. Once we start losing track of that, you know, it's not a good thing, Doug.
Right.
And I believe in my heart, we still believe, you know, that we still live in the greatest country in the world. It's just that we got to straighten some shit out if we want to continue living in the greatest country. You know?
Yeah, and I think it starts with the administration being truthful.
Well, they're not truthful, and you know, unfortunately, you playing that clip brings me back to, you know, brings me right back to his speeches the last couple of weeks. You know, if you listen to this man talk in the last couple of weeks, Doug, it's almost like the kid that got his ass whooped a couple times on the playground, and now he went to another playground and he's talking shit because he got his ass whooped.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what it is. I mean, let's face it. You know, he wanted to build back better, Bill. It's not going through.
Well, since you brought that up, watch this clip. Our friend Peter and his friend Peppermint Patty.
Oh boy.
And watch how they deflect and they never answer the questions.
Oh, I got it. Okay, Peter, go ahead. Last one.
Thank you, Jen. President Biden promised to bring decades of D.C. experience to the Oval Office, but Build Back Better has not passed. Voting rights apparently not going to pass, and vaccine requirements that he likes are apparently illegal. What happened?
Well, first, Peter, I would say if you look back at last year and what we were able to accomplish, that include getting the American Rescue Plan passed, a package that has contributed to cutting childhood poverty by 40%, has helped ensure we are moving at a faster pace toward economic growth, toward a record low unemployment rate, helped ensure schools, more than 95%, are open across the country. He also pressed, despite skeptics, to get a bipartisan infrastructure bill passed, one that we're just announcing today, the fact that 15,000 bridges are going to be repaired. That was despite many skeptics. And because of his efforts, 200 million Americans are now vaccinated. The work of an administration continues after 1 year, and he will continue to press forward on all of those priorities.
But as you talked about a year ago and working with Republicans, now he is talking about Republicans that don't agree with voting rights. He's describing them as George Wallace, Bull Connor, and Jefferson Davis. What happened to the guy who, when he was elected, said, to make progress, we must stop treating our opponents as our enemy?
I think everybody listening to that speech who's speaking on the level, as my mother would say, would note that he was not comparing them as humans. He was comparing the choice to those figures in history and where they're going to position themselves as they determine whether they're going to support the fundamental right to vote or not. One last thing. The Bengals are playing tomorrow. I'm just giving it a shout out so that my husband will be excited at home. They haven't won a playoff game in 31 years. Okay, we've got to wrap it up.
You know, hold on.
I'm holding.
He did compare him to that. I don't know what speech he watched. He did compare them to that, segregationists. You know, because and it was in Atlanta he gave that speech, Doug. Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. He did compare them. I don't know what, you know, I'm kind of confused. I'm not sure she really watches what he says. You better run our disclaimer before I get booted.
Yeah.
So,
and
he compared them.
Hold on a minute. The hashtag's at the end of this. Okay, go ahead.
He compared them to that. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, if anybody was paying attention after his speech in Atlanta, and then the week before he gave that, it was the week before he gave his speech, it was just, you know, everything was about Trump, you know. Trump, it was a January 6th speech, but the thing of it is this: after his speech in Atlanta, if you guys are paying attention, if you're really watching that closely, you've got some pretty strong Democrats, Doug, that are backing away from him right now, saying, he shouldn't have did what he did. I don't know what the hell he's saying. He shouldn't have said that. It wasn't right. Now what he did, in my opinion, on the voter rights bill, the lady from Arizona, I can't think of her name right offhand, the senator from Arizona, Seema, whatever, her, the Democrat, and Manchin, of course, they're both saying, we're not voting for this bill. There's a lot of stuff in this bill that needs to come out. We're not voting for it. So, I mean, he's cutting his own throat. I don't know who's writing his speeches. Somebody got fired, and a new person come in that's got some anger issues.
Well, remember we said about a year ago, not a year ago, probably about 9 months ago, Democrats are going to start separating themselves from him because he's taken down the whole entire party. If you associate and align with him, your chances of
voted out.
Yeah, your chances of being reelected are.
And for him to think that he can make a speech like he made in Atlanta, and a couple Democrats that were on the fence didn't like some of the things in the voter bill in the Senate, they're going the other way now. I'm telling you, that bill, and to take something that's been out for years, a filibuster, and all that was, and there's a couple Democrats even said that, by them trying to push and take the filibuster bill out, change everything, it's not good, because it would be straight out whatever they wanted would go through with no, and pretty much turn communist, and all but uncertain words. That's what they use, socialist, communist. They didn't use them words, but went that direction. And there's a lot of Republicans right now that are, I mean, that might have been on the fence on some of it, they're not no more.
Right.
He said, if you go through the Trump era, everything Trump did for 4 years, Pelosi, Schumer, and them, Schiff, they everything was against. It didn't matter if it was for the good of the American people, they were against it.
Right.
But things still got pushed through. He said, just like she said in that clip, I'm going to bring the parties together. And what he's doing right now, especially in the last two speeches that he gave, if you paid attention, he's divided these parties so far apart.
Right.
But what he did when the big split happened, there's Democrats that went, they went over the other side.
Yep. And then he's alienated the people by calling them, what do you call them?
Segregationists.
Yeah, about if you don't get the vaccine.
Oh, I can't remember that whole vaccine speech. Every time he opens his mouth about getting vaccinated, I want to puke, because, listen.
Yeah.
I don't care if we've preached this a million times. I don't care if you are or aren't. I don't care. It's your choice. Should be a choice. But 200, she said it herself, over 200 million Americans right now are vaccinated, Doug. We're at like 56 or 7% of Ohioans, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody see the numbers today? Now, I don't give a shit if, they're adding in numbers. They're adding in numbers, that where they had to add them in. Yeah, Friday's numbers. Well, they added in numbers. Well, if you go back to Thursday, we're at 20,000. Friday, it went to 44,000, 40,000 or something. Well, we had to add some in that weren't in. Yesterday's numbers are over 50,000 for one day.
Jesus.
One day. And that's numbers that the state of Ohio reported. The exact number for yesterday, total positive cases, 50,299. 50,299. Yesterday, Friday's numbers were for. How can this be? And I'm not trying to bring up we talk, I know too much sometimes about the vaccine, but let's be serious. We were told, quote unquote, if we get vaccinated and this, that, and the other, everybody gets vaccinated, this will go away. It's not going away, one. It's never going to go away. We're going to learn how to live with it. You know what I'm saying? That's fact.
The new normal.
Two, we're going to learn how to live with it, Doug. The new normal. But two, over 200 million Americans, over 56% of Ohioans are vaccinated. We're going the opposite way, Doug. We're going the opposite way. How can this be? How can this be? You know, actually, Greg, I just seen his pop up. Looking over there, I can't look at all the comments, but what was it, Doug? 250, 300, we shut down the Arnold Schwarzenegger Festival in Ohio.
Right.
We went on 4 to 5 days later. I believe it was on a Sunday. A Sunday address from Mike DeWine to the public at 400, a little over 400 cases a day. Between 400 and 500 cases a day, we shut daycare down. We started shutting stuff down. Mm-hmm. And when we're at like 450 to 550, that's when we shut everything down. A day. 50,000. Now, I don't give a shit if you say, well, we had some backlogged ones we threw in. That's what they said for Friday's numbers, Doug.
Sure.
Well, we went from 20,000 to 40 to 50. 56% of Ohioans are vaccinated.
Well,
we thought the whole world was stopping and listening to the Ohio, governor.
Right.
When we hit 8,000 cases, remember?
Right. Yep. So I'm happy to report that
you're happy.
Yeah, I'm not the smartest person on the block, but apparently NBC News must have been listening.
Oh, boy.
And they did an interview with some guy, a lot smarter than me. And he said, listen, these numbers don't reflect exactly what's going on, because you have people at home that are taking these tests. They're coming up positive and they're not telling anybody.
No, they're not saying shit.
And I'm like, I rest my case.
Man,
so
we're
done
ago.
Here. We're done.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, what were we saying? Well, they reported, 10,000
exactly.
or 14,000, and
right.
It's got to be 17 or 18, 3
exactly.
to 4,000 more.
Yep. So if it was 50,000, who knows if they added in some just to add in, just to catch the ones that are at home.
Well, we're going to add 20,000 in for you assholes that didn't report.
That didn't report.
Yeah,
like you're mandated to do.
Yeah, you're mandated to do that. It's a bunch of bullshit. Listen, the numbers. I don't know who put it up there. Scare tactic. The numbers in the very beginning. When we started getting into our show, doing our show in November of 2020, I think it was when we started this show, right, Doug? It was November.
Many years ago.
We were at the point there where we were like, we honestly believe they were inflating the numbers. Remember, Doug, they were inflating the numbers, election, this, that, and the other.
Right.
The numbers were inflated. And the question I ask everybody is this. For you out there in the chat room, how many people in July of 2020? Better yet, let's go to between July and November of 2020. How many people did you actually know had COVID-19 or did have it? Confirmed.
What was the dates?
From July of 20 to November of 20. 2020.
A handful at the most.
I guarantee you count them on two hands. You're not going to need no more. You're not going to need your toes.
Right.
Now, okay, that's when the whole world was coming to an end. The Goon Squad was going to come if you had her 6 or more at Thanksgiving, this, that, and the other.
In your windows.
Now, flash ahead to January of 2022, or let's go from Thanksgiving of 21 to now. How many people do you know had it or have it now? And it's a shitload, man. You know, you're going to have to count on your hands and feet and then go borrow your kids to count them, Doug.
Yeah,
you know,
somebody said it. I don't know who said it. Everybody's going to end up with this variant of COVID. Everybody's going to end up with it at some point.
And you know, God forbid, Facebook and YouTube don't smack me for this. You know, I'm about to make a comment that all this shit.
It's scrolling.
But listen, in my opinion, vaccinated or not, I don't care. Until we all get it, it ain't gonna calm down, Doug. You know,
right.
The herd immunity. That bad word that the scientist from Texas was chastised for, and that doctor that was in Washington giving that speech that day about herd immunity, going back to April, May of 2020, and they ran them pretty much in the ground, Dr. Fauci, and then they fast forward ahead to May, June of 2021, 13, 14 months later, and it comes right out of his mouth that the being vaccinated and herd immunity will stop this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Until we all get it, and we're getting close now to a lot of the people in this country, until it spreads more and herd immunity takes place, whether it's vaccinated or not, it's we're going to deal with it like this, period. It's getting there. I went into a gas station. It's funny. I went into a gas station. Can't remember
Local?
I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere. Yeah, it wasn't too far from here, between here and Avon. Can't remember which one, but weren't taking cash.
Really?
No. Are you paying credit card or debit card? No. Well, we're not taking cash right now. I'll see you later. I bet you the one next door does.
Right.
But regardless, that's all I want to talk about on the virus part of it. And, so Biden, Doug, Build Back Better. It's going to pass. No cash at Cedar Point. Here we go. Biden, well, yeah. And then you know what them bastards do? They'll tack 4% on every transaction.
Okay.
So, but anyways, Biden's,
Go ahead.
Biden's Build Back Better bill, not going to pass. It's not going to pass.
No.
So as soon as he knew, stop thinking of this timeline. As soon as he knew he was screwed on that, what's the first thing they revert back to? First thing they revert back to is the voter bill that's been tabled. Yeah, whatever. It's been tabled. It's been tabled for over a year, Doug. The voter bill, 8 months. Put to the side. Soon as he knows that, boom, right away. What's he going after? Trump, the insurrection, January 6th, this, that, the voter bill. We need the voter bill. Then gives a couple speeches where if the voter, if you don't vote for this voter bill, you're a segregationist and this, that, and the other, and trying to get the big divide. Now he's found out that, you got 2 Democratic senators with about 4, I think, Doug, that are on the fence on some of the stuff. Now he knows this bill ain't going through. What the hell campaign promise did he actually keep?
He hasn't kept anything yet.
He's not getting this bill through. And you people out there in that chat room better be damn glad that there's a couple Democrats got some common sense.
Do you think Bill Gates is a Democrat?
I think Bill Gates is a fucking asshole. But regardless, he's either it's the truth. He's a very evil person in my eyes. But do I think he's a Democrat? He's probably an independent.
Okay. So this whole next story is I don't know what it is. I ask you a question. Like, is it this Sunday or next Sunday?
You knew the answer. Normal, and you.
No.
All right, people. I'm tired of hearing this one. I want comments in the chat room.
This is going to go way off.
Let's go back.
Let's
go back to Thursday. Let's go back to Thursday. Today's Thursday, and I say to you, no, we're going to do it next Sunday. Would you think it would be today or next Sunday? Which one? Please let us know.
Yeah.
I'll probably eat my words.
You are going to.
Okay, go on with the.
So, I think he's probably the one world order type person. He's on the Bilderberg group. So this story is going to go way over your head.
Probably.
Because it has something to do with computers. Like yesterday, he tried to tell me what the computer can and can't do. So anyhow, you did. You went, well, you can do it. And I was ready to just shove it over and let you do it.
But did it work?
I don't know. I don't remember what it was exactly about.
Go ahead, Doug.
All right. So anybody here that uses Microsoft Word, which is a part of Microsoft Office, if you use that, they pushed an update out because Microsoft got woke. So now, if you type something in Microsoft Word, for example, if you type in there "one giant leap for mankind," it will change it to "one giant leap for humankind" or humanity. That's not all. If you use the word "maid," it will change it to "cleaner." If you use the word "showgirl," it'll change it to "dancer" or "performing artist." If you use the word "headmaster," it will change it to "principal." If you use the word "mistress," it'll change it to "love."
I'm sure Kamala Harris had something to do with that one being changed.
If you use the word "master," it will change it to "expert." And if you use the word "manpower," it will change it to "workforce." Now, how that works is when you're typing.
Can you override it?
There is a setting where you can turn that off. But for example, a lot of people, they don't think anything of it. They're typing away, and most people do pay attention to what they're typing. A lot of people look at the keyboard. My dog's turning the lights on and off. And and here's a good one. And if you use like Mrs. Thatcher, it will change, and she should be referred to as Ms. Thatcher. So when you're typing, it will change that on you. So when you go back and read it, you're like, well, I didn't use the word "cleaner." I have a maid. I have a cleaner. Just like it started in airlines with stewards, stewardesses. Now they're flight attendants.
Well, yeah, because you got a lot of guys that are.
So that's fine. In the in restaurants now, it's servers versus waiters or waitresses.
Well,
but when it comes to Microsoft, you should be able to write whatever you want to write.
You know, if I buy this computer that I got right now that I'm on doing this live, and it's got Microsoft Word and all that shit, I'm sure. If I'm typing something, I want to type what I want to type. Now, if I got WordPerfect or whatever, and it, misspell a word and it changes it to the right word.
Right.
It should have a red line come up once it goes and you can change it. Remember how it used to be?
Yes.
Red line under.
Yeah.
I don't need a fucking computer changing my wording.
What you want to say? Correct. Because if you wanted to use the word master, you don't want it to say expert.
Wonder what it says if I type in "you're a dickhead."
Well,
You're a penis erect.
so, like,
How do you write a love letter, a nasty love letter? Hey,
So if you were talking about a master lock, it would be an expert lock.
Yeah.
They got woke, and that's just examples of it. There's hundreds of them that
Everybody's getting. Listen, everybody is. And Lord forbid I talk about a basketball player that has number 23 on his jersey, because when I started talking about that shit last time, I got booted off.
Right.
But everybody is. We gotta we gotta cancel. I watch you want to know something? I watch some of them clips. TikTok has it, YouTube. You go back and look at some of the clips from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
When Richard Pryor was on there, and Chevy. I was watching it. I think I put it up on mine. I'm not sure, of a skit between Richard Pryor and Chevy Chase. Holy crap. What? There was no feelings got hurt. Look at Archie Bunker and George Jefferson. Look at Fred Sanford. Some of the stuff. Nobody's feelings got hurt. We took it in stride. I mean, now all of a sudden we can't say master.
Correct. You cannot.
Master chef, expert chef.
Yep.
So I'm an expert. I'm an expert baiter. I'm just saying, master baiter on a ship, baits the hooks for the people. What were you thinking, Doug?
I was just thinking the same thing, and I'm like,
oh, okay.
What on earth are we going to call them now?
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing? I'm expert baiting.
What do you think of that, Mom?
What do you think of that? I'm not going blind now. But it's just listen. I still think, like I said at the beginning, it's the greatest country in the world. But we got to start stopping shit like this, or it's not gonna be. Right. It's not gonna be. I put a clip up on my YouTube page, and it was in a show, but Jeff Daniels was in it. Did you see it, Doug? Where that college girl sits up and says something about the United States, and the one politician goes, "We live in the best country." We live in, and he goes, "We don't live in the best country. We do, but we're borderline. Yeah. We're borderline.
Yeah,
we're not the only free country in this world.
Right.
If honestly, if I'm living to the north of us, Canada, they're a little bit ahead of us, Doug.
I think a lot of places are.
I mean, they got to be sitting there going, shaking their heads. I mean, we took our closest ally, our very closest ally. Canadians and Americans get along great, so great that and this administration's put a wedge in that, Doug. Everything Canada, first thing he does is knock off the Keystone Pipeline, then turns around and allows Russia to run a pipeline through Germany that Trump put restrictions on. Said no. He lifts it. Now, look what we're dealing with Russia, people. Russia pretty much told the United States this week, bag it in your ass, mind your own business. We'll do what the fuck we want to do, whether you like it or not. And they're getting ready to invade the Ukraine. We got administration sitting up there scratching their ass going, I don't know what we're going to do about this. I mean, they come home, Doug. Anybody pay attention to that? Nobody paying attention to that. They went into talks. They got sent home. Basically, Russia said, mind your own fucking business.
Right. And Joe Biden went, oh, okay.
Huh?
Sorry. Joe Biden. Sorry. Didn't mean to disturb you.
We're going to put some harsh restrictions on you. Shut up, Joe. Okay.
Sorry.
He ain't taking them out behind the woodshed. Yeah, sorry. But you're right. And honestly, Chaz, I really don't think that's Biden that's doing it. It's the people pulling the strings behind him that you don't see. Biden's not running this country. I'm telling you right now, Biden's not running this country. We had a clip up that got a show yanked down. And it was one of the reasons the show got yanked off. And I'm not going to say anything more. But we had a clip up of who one of the people I feel is running this country.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't run for a third term, but I would like to be the guy behind the scenes talking in the ear. And you know, you stop and look, and he's not running this country. There's other people in his ear. Okay, Doug.
All right. So now I was trying to do this whole week with no school stuff.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Hashtag FJB.
That will get you in the running for a Big D's pizza.
Large, 2-topping, and 2-liter Pepsi product. Big D's Pizza. Right. Clyde, Ohio.
Right.
Thank you, Dean Henry.
Yes. So there's good news out of the schools that wait till you hear this. If your child needs an after-school club or activity as an alternative to the Good News Club or whatever they have, we have one now. It's on fire. It's catching the parents' attention.
What is it?
Well, you know what? Thank you for asking that. It is the Satan Club.
The what?
The Satan Temple. Here's the flyer that they had.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, it's a Satan Club. It's let me pull it up so I can read it a little bit better. Anyhow, it's held once a month from 2:45 to 3:45. It's a Satanic Temple Satanic Temple After School Satan Club. They do have a email address. It's held at the Jane Addams Elementary School in the music room or trailer. All children grades 1st through 5th, regardless of religious background, can definitely join.
What school, Doug?
What school?
Yeah, what school?
It's going to be that one. That flyer came out of the Jane Addams Elementary School, and I think that I don't see exactly where it's from, but Moline Coal Valley School District also has it.
And what?
And I think that one was Illinois, the one that I showed you. This one here, same place. Okay, yeah, Illinois. You're not happy with it?
No.
Why not?
In our schools?
Yeah. No, it's after school activity.
It's at our schools.
Right.
No, I'm not happy with that. I mean, here. Fuck, I just get done saying, we still got the greatest country in the world.
Well, look, they're all inclusive. So you want to hear what the school district said about this? And I'm going to go on a limb here, and I'm going to say that I kind of, as much as I don't like it, I am okay with the way it's being handled.
I'm not.
Hold on. This is what they say. They understand there's concern and confusion over the upcoming after-school club. So this is their what they say. The school board have policies and administrative procedures in place which allow for community use of its publicly funded facilities outside of the school day. The district does not discriminate against any groups who wish to rent our facilities, including religiously affiliated groups among those allowed to rent our facilities for a fee. The district has in the past approved these types of groups. Hold on. And one example is the Good News Club, which is an after-school child evangelism fellowship group. Flyers and promotional materials for these types of groups are approved for lobby posting or display only and not for mass distribution. Students or parents are then able to pick up flyers from the lobby if they wish to do so.
No. Here.
I'm okay with
I'm
that.
not.
I am.
Why?
Because
how can you be okay with that?
I'm not. I would never want my kid to be a part of that, and I wouldn't go endorse it, and I wouldn't be a member of it. But it goes back to to why do we allow this group, but we don't allow that?
Listen. Satanism is not a religion; it's evil.
To you?
So no, not to me.
Yes,
to most anybody, Doug. Come on.
I know it is.
No, don't listen. Here, stop.
I know what you're saying.
No,
come on, guys, chime in here.
Evil.
You claim it's evil.
Satanism. No, man. You're never going to convince me different. I claim it's evil, and I feel it's evil. Most crime. Serious.
Robert had to leave.
Well, before he said something, get booted up.
Hold on.
I Doug hopes with you, but I'm not. I'm not.
Just because there's a stigma over saying, listen, you allow people to vote the way they want to vote. You allow people to attend religious the way they attend religion.
Then you know what? Then let's have child molesters and that run for political office. Oh no, we'll fucking scream. You'll scream. You'll be the first one screaming.
No, why
would you have a child molester or a mass murderer run for political office? You'd be the first one. You shouldn't be allowed to do it. Yeah, you would.
No, I would question.
You're only saying that now, because of what we're talking about.
I would question.
Why would you question it?
Just because
that's
normal. Just like I would with this. Come on.
There's no place in this.
But they allow the other religion in there. How come they can't?
I didn't know Satanism was a religion.
It
show me where it's considered a religion. You show me it's not considered a religion. Religion is Catholic.
No, I gotta look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Oh,
yeah, you're right, Joe. So I believe that strippers. I can start a church with strippers and hookers and call it the great Christianity of hookers and strippers, and go rent that club, go rent that room in the school. Why? It's a religion.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, and it is a good point. I can make up anything I want and say this is a religion that I'm going in.
It's called.
You're right. You're right. I can tell you this: if my fucking taxpayer money went to that school where they're allowing Satanism, satanic beliefs.
No, they're not doing. They're not.
How do you fucking know?
They're doing science and activities.
Oh, really?
With kids.
That's why they call it what they call it.
That's the group that's putting on all.
What's the name of the group?
I showed it to you.
Okay, say it again. I'm just curious.
Back to it. You're just curious, are you?
case I'm messed up and ain't catching something, I want to. What was the name of that group?
The Satanic Temple After School Satan Club.
Okay.
Hey kids, let's have fun
Look,
at After
hold
School
on,
Satan Club.
hold on.
Science
You trying to
project,
get me worked up?
puzzles and games, arts and
Okay.
crafts projects, nature activities.
Oh, what? Oh, science and arts and crafts, satanic, rituals.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it.
Mm-mm.
Tell me what satanic means in the dictionary.
Parents, your child will learn
No,
benevolence
you
and
ain't answering my question.
empathy, critical thinking, problem solving, creative expression, personal sovereignty. Satanism.
I don't give a
Any
frick what.
of various religious or counterculture practices and movements centered on the figure of Satan.
Meaning of satanic. Holy shit, man. They got Hinduism and everything else up here. I can't read that shit.
Okay, now if a Hindu wanted to be in there, you'd be okay with that.
Let me talk to you about this. I'm glad you brought this shit up. I'm not in anything that should be in any kid's minds about worshiping the devil. And I don't care what you say, satanic.
That's not what they were doing.
Oh, really? You were there?
No, look at their flyer.
Look at the goddamn logo on the top of the flyer.
Look at that.
Okay, blow it up so we can see the logo.
I can't.
The
It
logo
says
on
the
the very
satanic.
top.
It says
the logo on the very top.
I'm reading it.
I'm
the
not reading it. I'm looking at the picture.
What?
I'm looking at the picture in the very middle.
I know, and then read after that.
I don't need to read no more.
Let's have fun.
Yeah, let's have fun. No, man, I'm with Tommy. If any of that shit hit my school, where I pay taxes to, we got a fucking serious issue. We got a serious issue. You're wrong. Now, Islam.
No, I'm wrong.
There's three different. You're wrong.
I just don't practice Satanism. I don't have a reason to. I don't want to.
I don't think it should ever be taught anywhere. I'm against it.
What about agnostic?
What?
Agnostic.
Clarify it.
Hold on, I want to give you the exact definition.
Separation of
a person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence of nature of God. So basically, they don't believe; they just have no belief at all.
It's called atheist.
No, that's the complete opposite of somebody who believes, an atheist.
And what'd you just say? A person that doesn't what?
Agnostic just doesn't believe. They don't believe there's hell. They don't believe there's heaven. They don't believe there's a God. They just don't believe anything. They believe we came from a monkey.
I'm pretty sure that's what atheists believe too.
No, they believe in the devil.
So, last thing I'm going to say on this.
Oh, you're going to jump out early.
Well, Greg agrees with you. Last thing I'm going to say on this is that right there is a fact. They separated church and state. So,
I did not see that, but it would have been interesting to watch.
It just evolved, Tammy. That's the thing. From a cell, all of a sudden we got monkeys, elephants, fucking, tigers, lions and tigers, and oh my. But anyway.
Greg wanted to make sure you knew he does not agree with me.
Yeah, well, I don't either. But here's the thing. There's no place for satanic.
All right. I'll give you this one last.
There's no place for any kind of satanic worship in our schools, period.
Okay. What if it said the Kitten Club? Come have fun, nature walks, arts and crafts here at the Kitty Club.
It needs to be checked on what they're actually
It's after school.
Doesn't matter. It's on a school property.
It's after school. Yeah, because I could understand
So
that.
if I want to film a pornographic movie after school, it's okay, right?
I was thinking when you said that, and I said it, I thought about it.
That's okay then. That's what you're telling me. Okay, let's take a different scenario. The Bloods and the Crips. Well, let's say the Bloods. They want to have an after-school activity. Everybody say, hell no. You're not having an after. All you're doing is recruiting for your gang. What's the difference? Tell me.
Okay, so I'm getting beat up here, and that's fine.
So you're opening your school up. That's taxpayer money.
Right.
Taxpayer money.
That's where I was headed with.
That's
where I was headed with. Really, separation of
you went the long
religion.
Fucking way around to where you were heading.
the separation of state and religion should be there, and the school is part of state, so any religious activity should not be happening in a school.
Listen, unless it's a private school, that's different. They govern their own. If it's a public school, no, I don't agree. Hear me out on this one, though. I don't agree St. Augustine's Baptist Church or whatever should have their group meetings at school. They got a church for that. They got a church. They should have a hall to have their meetings after school. I don't believe that, if you're going to stick to the separation of church and state, that's the way it should be all the way around.
But if you open it up to one, you really need to open it up. You can't just start discriminating against whatever ones you like.
You know what? Okay. I'm a racist. I discriminate against satanic worshipers there.
All right.
Put me on the cross. There you go, Facebook. Now you got me. Oh, now you can, Joe Biden's going to be talking about me tomorrow. I'm a segregationist because I don't like satanic worshipers. The same guy that went to Mass, Catholic Mass, right before he got inaugurated, and 2 days later gave $30 million out for abortions. Tell me that. No, I'm not going to agree with this.
Would you throw the KKK out?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not for KKK. I'm not for them one bit. I don't agree with how they do their not in the slightest bit. Just like I don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement.
If they wanted to rent it?
No.
So you decide who gets to use our public property?
No, I don't, unfortunately. I wish I did. Because I tell you, KKK, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, none of them would get it because they're all for racial divide. They're all for racial divide. And I was planning a trip there too. That sucks. They're all for racial divide. It's not right what they do. And here's the problem. Agree with me, disagree with me. I really don't care. Any of you, be honest, I don't care. Wow. Here's the problem. We've taken, and every week we can't go where every week the schools give us something to rip on. Trust me. It's terrible. We've taken morals. Antifa, I said that. Antifa's right in there with them. We've taken morals out of school.
Yeah.
We've taken morals completely out of school. We took God out of school. Separation of church and state. The Pledge of Allegiance, one God, they don't want to say that no more. But this is going to be okay. The problem is we're not teaching morals. If you want to separate church and state, that's fine. Go ahead. I don't agree with that, but whatever. But at least teach some morals. We don't. We tell them it's okay. We've put up surveys, Doug, that they're having surveys from how young? 5th grade, was it?
What surveys?
the surveys about sex and depression? Fifth grade. Why would you teach a fifth grader about anything? You know, you're right. Damn, it's sad. Public schools are going to become more and more popular because, you know, people don't want their kids going to public schools. Jesus Christ, we got public schools out in California giving a pizza to a kid to shoot a vaccine in his arm. We just showed last week, wasn't it, Doug? Last week or 2 weeks ago, their teacher giving a kid a vaccine in their own home.
17 years old. And then he went home and told his mom,
yeah, I'm vaccinated. I don't have to wear a mask. You do.
I went to my teacher's house after school. Just stopped in.
And like Tammy brought up, the bigger question should be, why is that kid at the teacher's house?
I agree with that. I agree.
You know what?
See, that's kind of my point
Here's a question on that.
Because you can elect to be a part of that or not. And you have to have parents' permission.
Here's the question. Is a felon allowed to vote in the United States?
No.
Convicted felon?
No.
So, do you feel that a guy that murdered 3 people, a family, like that asshole over here in Sandusky, murdered that woman and 2 kids, young kids.
Where at?
In Sandusky, this few years back.
Oh.
And he's in prison. He shouldn't have the right to vote. Do you agree? He's in prison for life. He should not have the right to vote.
Correct.
Okay, so a dude that got caught selling some speed at 18 years old, got convicted, got a felony, 4th degree, went to prison 12, 18 months, got out. Now he's 35 years old. He doesn't have the right to vote. You agree with that?
I don't.
Why?
I don't.
Why?
I think if you're in prison.
Well, no. It's either one can vote or not all.
No, but if you've done your time.
Well, what I'm saying
you're
is
labeled.
What I'm saying is it's the same thing. And I'm not trying to argue with Ronnie, but and you're agreeing with Ronnie.
I do.
If you look at Ronnie's comment, now you're totally the opposite way with what I just said.
Why? Well, when you're in prison, you kind of give up all those rights.
When you're out of prison as a felon, did your time, rehabilitated, whatever it is, you come out and you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote.
Me and Greg now agree.
I'm just saying. Whatever.
What? Well, why do you give up like that?
Because it ain't.
You're not going to win.
It's not a matter of
strong enough.
You know what? It ain't that I'm not going to win. This country's not winning.
No, you're right. You're right.
You know, the country's not winning. You can't say, you know, I believe it should, Tommy. I really believe it should. If you're an A1, A2,
well, they have
F1,
felony 1,
F1,
yeah.
F2, and if you don't know what I mean, aggravated felony 1, aggravated felony 2. You know, I believe Ohio now has 5 degrees of felonies. Unfortunately, right. You know, but I believe A1, AF1, F1 down to 2. You should lose them rights for life. I agree with that. You done something pretty bad to get an aggravated felony 1 or 2. Now, when you get into 4th degree felons, 5th degree felons, I don't think they should lose their right. They should have to be off paper.
I agree with you, but the problem with that is we're so unfair in the judicial system. Like you can do something, I can do something. We'll get totally different types of charges, or we'll get totally different types of sentences.
Tommy, that's what I'm saying. I believe that they should have to be off paper. off parole, probation,
Right.
and
Yeah.
within 1 year's time or 18 months' time, I agree with what Tommy's saying. You have 18 months after you're off paper,
Yeah. See,
then
yeah,
you
I
should
think
be allowed to vote again.
we all agree. Or carry a
But,
gun.
I mean, no, I don't believe it.
Oh, you can only do certain things. Glad you're not our president. Be like,
Yeah, you know what?
right?
Yeah, we're giving. And Greg brings up a good point.
I know. I was
Not to get off, we're going way off base here an hour in. Greg
Right.
brings up a great point. Well, in this voter bill that Biden wants pushed through, an undocumented immigrant in the country for 1 year is allowed to vote. We don't know. He could have murdered 10 people over in Mexico.
Right.
We're going to let him vote. You're right, Greg.
But
That's
our
how
own
fucked up we
people
are.
who are in the prison system that we know and we can track and has a social security number, we won't let.
No. What the fuck's the difference? We're teaching satanic shit in schools.
We're not teaching satanic.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
It doesn't matter if it's an after-school program or not.
It's
You're
after
teaching
school. It's a
satanic
whole
shit.
different.
Is it on school
What if
property?
it's the 4-H?
I don't care. Is it on school property?
Then it should be all or none.
Is it on school property?
It is on school property.
So then you're allowing them to teach satanic shit on school property.
Okay.
Yes or no?
But you can let
there's
your
no but.
kids.
That was a yes or no.
You can let your kids go or not. So they put on their paper,
you can.
and you go. You're absolutely not going to that.
Beside the point, though. Is it on school property and the school knows that they're there?
Yes. Yes.
Then we're allowing satanic teachings to be on school property.
Correct, because they didn't want a lawsuit. Like the Hudson School District got again. What's wrong with Hudson, Ohio? What's wrong with it? That's the one where they disconnected the guy's microphone. And now they got another.
What'd they do now?
You would ask
all the shit going on in the United States with the
and it's all in Hudson.
And we got shit in Hudson, Ohio.
Hudson, Ohio. They're the ones who disconnected and we just talked about them about 2 months ago over something. Now they've got a lawsuit.
The survey they were given.
The racist survey thing. Now there's a lawsuit filed against the school board, Hudson City Schools, because of unequal treatment of students regarding the masking and quarantine guidelines for students. So here's what Hudson did. They decided to, how'd they put that? Mask to stay, test to play. You can stay in school if you have a mask on. You have to be tested if you want to go do anything more than sit in your school desk chair.
For what? What do you mean? Explain. That's very vague.
What? How's that vague?
To do what? Go play basketball, football.
Yeah.
Go to lunch.
All that stuff. If you need to be tested.
Tell me, who's testing?
You have to show a test in order to be able to do anything in school.
Well, tell me where I get a fucking test right now because hospitals can't.
Well, we were going to talk about that too. So,
but Biden's giving $500 million out.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about the $500 million. That's what I want to talk about. They will be available here, I think, probably this week. It's covidtest.org, I think. Problem. It'll take 7 to 12 business days to fill. What does that mean? So if you have a symptom, you say, I better get checked. You got to wait 7 to 12 business days for your order to get filled and then a few days shipping. So it's about 10 days out.
And then if it tests for antibodies too, guess what?
What?
You're testing positive. You got to watch. Hey, just so y'all know out there, hear me out on this. You're going to say I'm an idiot. Well, you know what? You don't have to now because that mandate got squashed. Except hospitals,
right,
nursing homes. So I'm telling you right now, watch what you're doing with these tests. Make sure you read it before you buy it, because there's certain tests out there that are testing just for COVID if you got it or not. But there's also certain tests that are being, been released for a while. It'll say tests is for positive COVID or antibodies.
mm-hmm.
And if you grab that antibody test and you've had COVID before it was popular, like I did in January of 2020, or in that time period, or you had it and didn't even know you had it. Yeah. Well, when it was just a viral infection,
right.
Or, you had it, some people are asymptomatic, never even know they had it. You had it, whatever. You'll test positive on the antibody test. They don't know. Remember this one, Doug? 90 days and the antibodies are out. Remember when CDC come out and said that? Oh, after 90 days, there's no more antibodies for, and there's no herd immunity. Then all of a sudden, well, we're wrong. You can carry the antibodies forever. Some people might not. It's all on how your body. That's what I want a doctor to come out and say, listen, yeah, we got variant number 125 coming out. I mean, it's like the Omicron. I don't give a shit what any of you guys out there think, feel, whatever. My opinion and my feeling is this. We were told it's going to have lesser symptoms. Remember, Doug? You're going to get it, but it's going to have less symptoms. Right. It's this, that, and the. How the hell can you tell me what kind of virus, bacteria, or anything that goes into my body is going to react to my body? How my body's going to react to it? You can't. Every individual's different. DNA, everything on down the line, immune system, the whole 9 yards is different. Every person, there's not one person the same. And the Omicron might have lesser symptoms, so it might take you out. You don't know. You do not know. So, for them, I'm so sick of this fucking virus shit. It's there. It'll kill you. I mean, I can back out my driveway, pull up Perkins Ave, not see a semi coming down the road and pull out and get killed too, Doug. When it's your time, it's your time. I don't give a shit. We'll get back to the satanic shit. I believe totally the other way. When your ticket's pulled, your ticket's pulled. It ain't up to you. It ain't up to me. It ain't up to Debbie. It ain't up to the fucking doctor up there that's charging me $10,000 just to take my temperature. It ain't up to the hospital that's adding another 20 onto the bill because I sat in their waiting room for 10 hours and went in for an hour into the thing. It ain't up to none of them. They can't tell. When your number's pulled, your number's pulled.
Right.
Trust me. My number should have been pulled. I should have been dead 8 times right now. A couple weeks ago, I should have been dead.
Why? What happened?
Well, in the appendix, the way it was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these son of bitches say you're going to tell me, well, if you don't do this, you could die. Well, you know what? If I quit breathing tomorrow just on my own, I could pass out, hit my head and die too. You got me wound up over that satanic shit.
Why?
Because it's fucking bullshit. That a public school allow a satanic group to come into their, it's gonna. I'll get about an hour's sleep tonight. I'll be sitting in the room fucking thinking about it all night.
Wait a minute.
That our school systems in this country are so fucked up that they would allow a satanic group to come in afterwards on school property.
And I do want to let everybody know that I am not endorsing that in any way, shape, or form. I am against it as well. However, there's just some things about it that say, why can we do it with this group but not that group?
Because it's satanic worship. This used to be a country. I don't care. This used to be a country that believed in God.
You don't listen. Right.
Now what we're going to be shouting up there at the fucking Oval Office is satanic God country. Yeah. We're not even going to say God because, the minute you say God, everybody steps back. You can say a lot of discriminatory shit, but you start talking religion and God in some groups, and you got the plague, man.
Right.
You ain't got the virus. You got the black plague.
Right.
It come back. Yeah,
You're going to town on those cigarettes.
huh?
You're going to town on those cigarettes.
Yeah, see, Chaz with me.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no place. There's no place. You know, you want to listen. The next time you're walking down the street and you see these smart ass fucking kids, you know, yeah, I ain't allowed to die. No shit. Tommy. Next time you see these kids acting up to their parents in the stores and, you know, the mouthy and everything else and don't give a shit. Let me tell you what, not all kids, but I guarantee you 60% of the kids in this nation right now, ages 10 to 16, 18, could give two shits less. What they say to you, there's no fucking respect. They don't care. And if you go into school systems, 30% of the teachers are a bunch of fucking idiots. 70% are good teachers, 80%. But the 30% that are complete fucking idiots doing the stupid shit that they're doing, and the rest of the school board and administration allowing stupid shit like this to come in, and then you want to know what's wrong with this country and this younger generation? Right there.
So I do want to
come on in. Satanic's okay.
I do want to let you know that, first of all, they have to look at this flyer. They have to pick up one. They have to take it home. It has to be signed by a parent. That's where it starts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just like that fucking idiot that brought that girl into the LGP FJB group.
Yeah, no, that was pretty bad.
So what's the difference?
I heard somebody laughing at you.
Yeah. That what's the difference? You seriously think in today's world with everything going on that them kids, if they want to go to that group, they're mom and dad said I couldn't go. Then you know what's going to happen to the parents? Oh, they're going to be called out because they're not letting their kid make choice, freedom of choice. You stupid son of a bitch, you were eating fucking Tide Pods not long ago.
It's true.
Now we're going to let them vote.
That's true too. Listen, I don't endorse this at all.
I mean, now we're going to let them vote.
I really don't.
You ain't responsible enough to get a gun till you're 21 or drink a beer or buy a pack of smokes, but we're going to let you vote.
And we're going to send you over, and you can
go fucking worship the devil over there too. You know,
right?
But
it's in your local schools after school, though.
You're going to walk in and see candles around in a circle and that star in the middle with the fucking lamb laying in the middle. What are you doing? Arts and crafts.
Right. Showing how a candle burns.
Yeah,
it's science.
Arts and crafts.
It's
a science. We're going to dissect that poor lamb.
Let's give away pizza.
Yeah, fuck.
Why is Deb laughing at you?
Well, y'all must get off when I get fucking wound up.
No,
I ain't been wound up in a while.
Just conversation.
You know.
And I 100% agree with that as well.
You know, next thing we're going to have, come on over. We got the Whacking Off Club. Well, hey, we're doing arts and crafts.
Expert
baiting. Expert baiting. I forgot we ain't allowed to say master no more.
Right. That's gone. All right. If you want to win a pizza, hashtag FJB. Don't know what that means.
FJB. Big D's Pizza.
Yep.
Thank God we still got people like Dean Henry in the world.
True. Or we
wouldn't have everybody in this room. You know, I mean.
Let's see.
How many people signed up?
We have 9 of you.
9 of you. Here you go.
9 of 11.
Satanic.
I think the devil took them away.
Satanic. Oh my God.
Wow. I can't believe that's happening.
I wonder if they all got the little horns like AC/DC used to pass.
Well, the picture shows a a guy with some horns.
Yeah, there you go. Now all of a sudden you didn't want to address that picture when I was pointing at it. You did not want to address that picture when I was pointing at it, and you were talking about what red and everything else. Right there is a classic example.
I will tell you.
I'm not saying another word about that fucking satanic bullshit.
You will think about it all night. You'll call me tomorrow going, yeah, I didn't get any sleep thinking about that bullshit. And you
almost had him say the word, Joe. Given, I hope your wife is listening. He said bullshit. He swore. That's close.
No.
Go ahead, roll that dice.
Hold on a minute. Oh, they're going to provide snack, and it's prepackaged.
What are they? Yeah.
And so please note any known food allergies.
Yeah, lamb's blood. That's my allergy. Oh, you can't be a part of our club.
All right. Here we go. We're gonna do this. So we can.
All right.
Then hey, the next one's gonna be even better.
Oh yeah. Start drinking again. Let's see these. Hope Calhoun won a pizza.
All right, good job.
Hopeless
in Calhoun. We had quite the conversation in the office yesterday. I can't even say it on here. It was pretty bad.
I'm glad. I hope you're doing better.
What about me?
Ain't no fixing you.
Okay, now I hope just get a hold of
Dean Henry, Big D's Pizza Facebook page.
Yeah, thank you. The only thing that I have left now is to talk about is if you have a kid between the ages of 11 and 13 years old, would you send them to a gentleman's club? Listen, in the school.
That's a class trip for the goddamn satanic worshiping.
In the school of all places. All right, I'm gonna.
Are you
listen, guys?
me?
Listen, yeah, it's a gentleman's club. It's in the school. It's for ages about 11 to 13 years old. Let me play the clip first, and then we'll talk about it. No, you'll be happy. You'll be happy when you hear that. Everybody, calm down. You'll be really, really excited about this. This is how we end. We always end on a pretty decent, good note.
Yeah.
So
strippers.
So now this is a gentleman's club. Here we go.
Boy, I don't know.
A local teacher helping young boys become young gentlemen. Every Wednesday, nearly 60 students at Memminger Elementary dress for success and meet for the Gentlemen's Club. Megan Wallace shows us the lessons these students are taking outside the classroom.
A gentleman is a nice person that helps people.
Who taught you that?
Mr. Nelson.
We should open doors for ladies.
Raymond Nelson is the student support specialist at Memminger Elementary in downtown Charleston.
I was just thinking, well, maybe if I have to keep the boys dressed for success.
Nelson works with at-risk kids and wanted to do something to teach his students life lessons.
When is the last time you see somebody fighting in a tuxedo?
When the students came back from winter break, Nelson started the Gentlemen's Club. Their motto,
so you look good, feel good, do good.
Now, every Wednesday, dozens of 1st through 5th graders walk into class in their Sunday's best.
They like the reaction of walking out the classrooms and everybody saying, oh, you look so nice, you look so handsome. So they just love it.
It makes me feel like a gentleman.
Nelson keeps a stash of jackets, vests, and ties at school for some of the kids who don't have their own.
Coming left and right to get ties, jackets, slacks.
Each week, they discuss a new topic.
They have a lot of questions on how to be a gentleman.
We're learning proper etiquette, manners,
how to open up the door for ladies.
And at 1st grade, some of the boys are still at the age where they consider girls to have cooties. So Nelson bases his lessons and examples off of how they would treat their sisters, mothers, and teachers.
Treat ladies with kinds and stuff.
And I know a lot of them struggle because a lot of them don't have men at home. So I just want them to grow up and think of the things that I teach them.
Nelson shows them how to shake hands, make eye contact, open doors, and address elders.
And just to have the great social skills so they can succeed.
Nelson himself joined a similar group as a child.
It helped me to be a better man, and I can spread the knowledge to the young boys. They perform well when they realize that someone cares about them.
2, 3. Megan Wallace, Live 5 News.
I just love that idea. The Gentlemen's Club has been so successful that Meminger Charleston County School District officials say they want other local schools to begin their own gentlemen's programs in their schools.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, there you go. It didn't sound
Except
good.
for, you know what'll happen?
What?
Here's what's going to happen. Mark my words. Because they said you should open the doors for ladies. Oh, some idiot will come in and say, "Wah, bah, 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 bah."
It'll be a lady
You know.
who bitches about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. But you know what? Here, this is what should be taught in school. There should be mandatory class at a certain point that taught. Listen, bring back home economics in school where they taught them how to cook. You know, you had to take home economics. You had to take shop class.
One thing Ohio did.
Class.
One thing Ohio did, which I think is good. One good thing they did. What is that?
Chaz, you're right.
Why
you open the door? I just identified as a female right there.
Right. The Ohio, you have to learn financial something. It's a financial class that you have to go through in order to graduate, which I think is a good idea.
They just put that in, didn't they?
Yeah. It just became law this year.
Right.
And the thing is, remember, a handshake and looking somebody in the eye, that's something you don't have anymore these days.
No, well, you ain't allowed to shake hands.
Well, elbow butt and
fist bump, elbow bump. Hey, what's up, dogs?
Right. Now, I was told yesterday by the person that I was talking to about his school. I was told yesterday that they get, and I kind of agree with this. When they walk by the principal, they'll say, "What's up, dude?" or "bro," and he does not like that, which I kind of agree. You got to have some respect. And he's now giving them suspensions if they continue to do it.
I agree with that.
I agree with it too. So we agree.
We're
going to end agreeing on something.
Oh yeah, listen. Next week, I want to make sure we're going to start at 6:00 next week. DJ Swearingen's coming on. He'll be on he'll probably take an hour. Debbie just gave me a look because moving it up earlier. That we were asked if we could start at 6.
You did not get permission?
I got to go to the Gentlemen's Club.
Gentlemen's Club and learn that you should be respectful to your wife and let her know what's going on a week ahead, not next week. This coming Sunday.
This coming Sunday.
Right, not next week.
7 days from today, we will start at 6:00.
See, that's what we're talking about.
State Representative Swearingen, DJ Swearingen will be on the show. We'll have things he wants to discuss, actually, Doug, and questions we want to ask him.
Actually, he reached out to us.
Yeah. So make sure you tune in. Tell everybody if they got questions. He's a representative for Ottawa, Sandusky, Erie counties.
Bring along a friend.
Yeah, if you live in them counties, we got people that live in them counties to watch the show. Might tune in. If you got questions, put them up in the room. We'll ask them. He also represents. He's a representative and has a vote in the state house. So anybody else can ask these questions because when bills go up, he votes on them. Just because he represents our area, don't mean you ain't got questions.
And I want to know my question. What about the sugar cookie? Where's that at?
Yeah, no shit. No license plate. The only question I got is I'm all for the gun bill, up to the point of you should have to notify the police. When a cop walks up to your car, you should have to notify the police.
Well, it's in the system. Well, no, it won't be anymore.
No, it won't be anymore. You don't have to. So. So make sure you tune in next week. This guy, listen, we've busted his balls a couple times, want to know what the hell, this, that, or the other. This guy has 110% of my support. Great guy. Great guy. He, the best comment I heard out of a politician in a long time, is right before the election. He come up and he says, he was on our show. Remember, Doug, right before the election last November. And
asking that.
Yeah, I know. And he made the comment, 300 and some thousand people in that district that he's in, okay? He made the comment, he goes, I'm doing a job interview in front of 300,000 people on November or whatever date it was that we were voting. He says, we're going to find out if I pass the interview.
Right.
And that's basically what voting is. He described it, and I'll never forget that. I never looked at it that way until he said that. And I'll never forget that comment. I got a job interview with 300-some thousand people, and we're going to see how I do on election day. And that's what it is. You guys got to remember, they work for us. We vote them in. It is a job interview, and that's why I like Mark Bakita. He was on last week. You can't. These people, they work for us. They know they work for us. They're from us. They're for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we gotta keep guys like DJ in. Teresa Gaverone's running for United States Congress. You see that, Doug?
I did see that.
So maybe we'll be able to talk to her and get her on, in the next month or so. But we got to vote guys like Bakita in. Bakita, he's got a long road to go with the GOP is not on his side in Ohio. Democrats sure ain't on his side. He's fighting a fight. And you got to remember something. When neither side likes a guy, that should be the guy you vote for. Because he's not playing the game. He's playing for the people, not the game of the establishment.
Right.
And, Blastone's another one. You need to take a hard look at Blystone. Running for governor. They tried to railroad him a couple times on some stuff. The GOP in Ohio. Democrats sure the hell don't want him in there. You got to take a serious look at these people. You need to go, we're going to try to put something together. I'm not going to get for April, but I got permission, Doug. I forgot to tell you that. I got permission on a date in April. So
okay.
You need to listen to Blystone. He's one of us, Doug. He's another dude that has very successful business, making lots of money. Put his life on hold to try to do the right thing because he can see the bullshit going on in politics.
Right.
That says a lot. The guy doesn't need the money.
Neither one of them.
Neither one of them. They don't need the money. Blystone especially. His life was going good. Real good. Why the hell would, the only reason a guy would run for office like him is to try to straighten the problems out for us, the people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't need the headaches. He's running around in a bus right now, Doug. Campaigning and stuff. I mean, he could be getting up in his bed every morning, going in and counting his money. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's spending a lot of money, So remember that. Research politicians. Don't fall for the bullshit. Research your politicians. Where they come from, where they've been, how long they've been in politics. Listen, if a politician's been in there 30 years and shit ain't got done, it's time for him to go. Time for him to go. So other than that, you got anything, Doug?
I think now I've got you right where I want
you. Yeah, wound up.
No, I don't have anything.
All right, people. God bless you all. And God bless America. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.